I want to do this as long as I can, and I am happy to do whatever they want me to do.
And you've got a new name?
LA Knight turns into Max Dupri. They start promoting his sister, Maxine, for weeks. No one knows who Maxine is. And then at last, Sophia Cromwell being called up as Maxine Dupri.
You have this infectious energy before you do the worm.
There's something just so cringy about me that just loves to shine when I'm in there.
Talk to me about the Royal Rumble.
If the winner wants to eliminate me, so be it. There's not a lot of TV time, and we do have a really large roster, so if I get 3 minutes in the ring with Champ, that is such a huge moment. Thank you.
Did I see you were at Disneyland yesterday?
Yes, I was.
You were there with the Cardonas?
Yes, I got the Cardona Disney experience, and it did not disappoint.
Where do we begin with the Cardona Disney experience?
Okay, so the Cardona Disney experience is for the Disney adults, okay? And they have it down pat. Like, it was such a good day. We did everything. I actually never last a whole day at Disney. Like, I just don't have that in me. I did yesterday.
Well, here's the thing. You went on a day when it rained. It doesn't rain that often in Southern California.
True.
So, like, I think a lot of people don't want to go to Disneyland, obviously.
Yes. And, I mean, we did everything. We had the Genie Plus with the Lightning Lane. And I literally,
oh my
it
gosh,
was amazing. I was like, I did nothing. Matt had all of our tickets on his phone. He ran the show. I was just there for a good time.
Did you see Mickey? Did you see Minnie?
Did breakfast with Mickey.
Wow.
Yep. Went to Blue Bayou for lunch.
Oh, Blue Bayou's fantastic.
Unreal.
And you you've got the view there of...
And you're on Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yes, Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yes. But you know what's weird? Have you noticed this when you eat in there? You can't really see the people on the ride. Like, afterwards, I realized we never saw anyone go by, and I don't know why. But the ride was going, or maybe I just wasn't paying attention.
That is interesting. I guess it's removed enough.
Yeah.
Right?
Like, I don't know if it's how the lighting is, but yeah, you really don't even notice them.
It does feel like you're in Louisiana, like you're somewhere in New Orleans when you're eating in that restaurant.
Yeah.
Wow.
Awesome.
So
did all the rides.
How long are you in town for?
So I'm staying on the West Coast for another week because I'm from Sacramento. So I'm here tonight, and then I go to Sacramento tomorrow, and then San Jose on Monday for Raw. Gonna be amazing. I love a hometown moment.
Oh, this is great.
Yeah.
Look, I knew I liked you, and then I found out we share the same birthday.
May 19th?
May 19th.
Oh my gosh, I love this for us.
I love this as well. You know, this is a terrible date to say in wrestling, though. This goes way back.
Well, don't expose me because I don't know why.
It goes way back, like, I don't know, 15, 20 years ago.
Perfect.
Kane had a movie coming out. He had See No Evil coming out. It was coming out on May 19th. Yep. They had this whole storyline that if you said May 19th around Kane, he got very angry.
Wow, you learn something new every day. No one wanted to tell me this.
So don't tell your birthday if you ever run into Kane.
You got it. I will keep that to myself.
Our birthday, not just your birthday.
It's a great birthday.
There's a lot of famous people born on May 19th.
Really? Me and you, for starters. The
Absolutely.
most famous.
You number one, me
close second.
Somewhere down the list. Andre the Giant.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wait, I'm learning so much on this.
George St. Pierre.
Wow.
Yeah.
I had no idea. I thought it was all about me on that day. It's crazy.
It is really all about you. It's your day.
But it really is. Where are you from?
I'm from Toronto.
Okay. So I don't know what your weather is there, but in California.
I mean, you can guess.
Yeah.
It's Toronto.
In California.
It's not good.
May 19th was always a really good birthday party time as a child. You know, it's like sunny. Like once in a blue moon, you get a little rain, but it was never cold. Like, it's a good time.
So in Canada, May 19th, that generally falls around a holiday weekend, Victoria Day.
Okay.
So like,
even better.
You'd have Memorial Day the weekend after in the US, but that was our weekend. They called it the May 2-4 weekend because you would bring a 2-4 of beer to, the cottage or camping.
This is awesome.
Oh yeah, camping, yeah. Yeah.
Wow. I'm going to do some ASMR of my, are you ready?
Enjoy
You
it.
gotta,
Oh.
you hear that?
Wow.
I see people do this on TikTok.
Yeah, they're very popular.
I'm going to try not to break a nail.
It's tropical theory. That's my favorite flavor.
Ooh, hear that sound? Ooh.
Oh.
Okay.
Wow.
0 calories, right up my alley.
And I'm going to go with the original. I don't think I can tap it as well.
That's amazing. Yeah, you need some claws.
Can you tap? Oh, it's not even near the mic, though. Nobody will hear that.
Delish.
I'll dig into the original.
This is what I need after a day of Disney.
You walked in here with coffee, though.
I know, but I'm more of an energy drink person right now than a coffee girl. And I just stopped at Starbucks because it was there. And I didn't feel like I had time to go into Publix. And they have Publix here? No. We have Ralph's.
Ralph's, Vaughn's.
Yes, I didn't have time to try and find one. So I was like, I'm just going to do it. And then I walked in and saw this. And I was like, oh, it's going to be a good day.
But I lived in Florida for 5 years. So I feel like I miss Publix.
You miss a pub sub.
That's it.
Yeah.
The chicken tender pub sub.
Oh, I actually haven't had that one.
What?
No.
Oh, you're not
Is
a true
it insane?
Floridian
No,
yet.
I'm actually not.
Yeah.
I'm not even gonna lie.
But the chicken tender pub sub.
Wow.
Oh, you'll see.
That's awesome.
Not very healthy.
No, of course
at
not,
all,
but it's amazing.
But a nice little treat.
Yes.
Yes.
I love that.
It's very good.
That's awesome.
Oh, you want cheers here?
I do.
Let's
Cheers.
do that. Okay. It's so good to see you and have a real conversation with you.
I'm excited.
We've done 3. This is our 3rd interview. The other ones, they were great.
But they were short.
Right? And those are the days when you're doing
so much media.
50 interviews or something like that.
Yes.
So it's nice to be able to like sit
and relax
and have a conversation with
a real
you.
Talk.
And congrats on everything.
Thank you.
Like it went from like you're doing some stuff in NXT.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, boom.
Deepened, baby. Time to swim.
And you've got a new name?
Yeah.
How did all this come about?
Okay, so I'm in NXT. I get my name. I'm on TV, but I'm not wrestling. I'm paired with Mr. Stone and Von Wagner.
And you were Sophia Cromwell, right?
Yes. Yep. Sophia with an F. I was very adamant that I wanted to be spelled with an F and not PH. I don't know why. I just thought that it sounded more like Sophia Richie with the Sophia F, and I really like her. So I don't know. It was a weird thing. But they agreed to give it to me with an F, so that was awesome. And I didn't have a big role. I think I talked a couple times, but very minimal. Then LA Knight gets called up, but turns into Max Dupri.
Yeah.
And they start promoting his sister, Maxine, for weeks. No one knows who Maxine is, not me. I don't even know that creative knew, to be honest. I think it was like, we're going to do something, we'll figure it out.
Okay.
And I think so the other part of this is that I had actually gotten injured while I was Sophia on TV. So I was out with an ankle injury and I wasn't cleared. So then I wasn't even training. I just was like on TV, but not doing much and couldn't do any physicality, nothing.
Yeah.
Which I think in hindsight, of course, in the moment, I was like, my life is over. And then in hindsight, I'm like, that was the biggest blessing because I think I was one of the only people that they saw as TV ready in a sense in NXT that wasn't in a real story. Like I could be plucked and it didn't change anything. It didn't matter. And my name could be changed. No one knew who I was really. So I think it just worked out for me in hindsight that I was able to be called up as Maxine. But it is really crazy because my boyfriend and I were at that Smackdown the week before I debuted. And because it was in Orlando. So we go and we're like up in the 300s and they're promoting Maxine again. And we both like looked at each other and kind of giggled and we're like, no, there's no way. But we just kept seeing like every now and then. Everyone thought it was gonna be Gunther's wife. That was all over Twitter. Everyone was guessing it was her. And I was like, oh, I could totally see it.
Yeah.
Because at that point she had done NXT UK and had this like fashionista brand and like that was her thing. And I was like, oh, I could totally see her doing it. And then there was like maybe 2 tweets that said me, but you best believe I was like, oh, 2 people think maybe me. You never know. But really I was like, no, there's no way. And then alas, Thursday, they tell me and I flew out that day.
So with like 24 hours notice?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I don't even know if I was supposed to tell this story because I'll give you the backstory. Is what happened was, no, I didn't hear from creative or anything. So Wednesday night I go to sleep and I'm like, okay, I would have known by Wednesday night. It's not me, give it up. Thursday morning, I wake up to go in to the PC and it's like 7 a.m. and I get a text from Travel saying, hey, I heard you're needed for Smackdown. I'm going to book your travel. And I'm like, okay, don't get your hopes up, but it could be me. And then when I went to the PC, I pulled my coach aside because I'm like shaking. I'm like, wait, me going to Smackdown? Like, what's going on? And he's like, don't even stress. Like, they probably are bringing all 3 of you up. They probably just want to see you in person. Like, it's probably just you guys as a faction. No big deal.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, hear nothing about my travel, hear nothing. Then I go to the lead writer at like noon and I'm like, hey, what's up? And his phone had been dead, so he didn't see the email yet. So then, alas, he's like, Sophia Cromwell being called up as Maxine Dupri. Okay. And then because my name was Sophia, I didn't even get like my flight info, like didn't get put into my app because my names were not lined up.
Yeah.
So then I'm like, what time is my flight? And they're like, it's at 4. And I'm like, I gotta run. I gotta get out of here. But what was crazy is I told that story one time and then I was talking to Travel and they were like, yeah, that's why like now we have to really make sure that creative tells you guys first because creative was like, I think they were supposed to tell me not Travel.
Wow.
And I accidentally like fully exposed them, which I wasn't meaning to. I just thought that's how it worked.
Yeah.
I was like, oh yeah, Travel tells you and you go. Duh.
If you're looking to burn more calories to help with your weight, you gotta check out the infrared sauna blanket from Bond Charge. This has been a game changer for me. You guys know me, I'm all about health, and I've been looking into getting a normal sauna for a long time, but the price really deterred me. We're talking thousands of dollars here. Then I found the infrared sauna blanket from Boncharge. All of the same benefits of a traditional sauna, but for a fraction of the price. You can burn up to 600 calories in just one session, and sweating helps to flush out all of those heavy metals and other toxins. What's great about the infrared sauna blanket is it's so easy to set up. You do it in less than a minute, it heats up rapidly, and then you just sit there 30 to 40 minutes, you're relaxing, you're reading, you're watching TV, whatever it happens to be, and you're burning calories the whole time. And on top of that, you feel so relaxed and revitalized when you're done. Oh, by the way, the cleanup is super easy. Go check out boncharge.com/CVV and you'll get 15% off your infrared sauna blanket. That's boncharge.com/CVV. Use that code CVV to get 15% off. You are going to love the infrared sauna blanket from Boncharge.
So how do you even figure out, like, who is this character? What's Maxxine Dupri all about?
Yeah, that was a toughie at first, for sure.
You're meeting Maxxine Dupri basically the same time that we are.
Yeah, no, literally. And I really had no idea. The benefit was that Brennan Masse, his younger sister, actually signed with my class. So I had at least met him and I was friends with her. So I had a little comfortability, at least with him, which was really, really nice because it's, first of all, it's scary.
Sure.
Going up there. And then when you don't know anyone and you have like no relation to anybody. So at least I had a little like something of like a little safety net, I felt like, where at least I kind of knew these guys. And I was like, okay. And I had met Sean LA Knight a couple times at the PC before he got called up, but not much. Like our paths did not really cross. So it was very interesting.
But then all of a sudden you're his sister.
Yes.
And he's a, a veteran. He's been there,
Yes.
in WWE been in wrestling for 20 years. Mm-hmm. Does he say, all right, here's a few pointers?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yes. And so all three of them were awesome with me. Like we went to the PC and like worked on like, I had never done an in-ring promo. I had never really done backstages. Like I had done a few on NXT, but the way that NXT films is very different than main roster. Main roster is very like one and done. We got to get the show on the road, where NXT is developmental. So you're going to do multiple takes. It's more analyzing.
Sure.
You're learning. Everyone's learning. So it's a very different speed and different flow. So I'm very lucky that I had all three of them to guide me.
What's kind of the piece of advice on day one? You're thrown into this.
Yeah.
What is, at the time, Max Dupri, what does he say to you?
So he actually wasn't there on my first day. So that was the day where he ended up not coming in that week. They had me there. And then the next week, he was there as my brother. So day one was just me, Mansoor, and Brennan. And that day was also really crazy because things were changing like a lot, which is how it is.
Sure.
It's a live show, it's entertainment.
Yeah.
But I just hadn't experienced that yet. So even when I walked in, let me give you the backstory on this. So I'm packing, okay? I pack 20 outfits. I'm like, I got it all. I have like, originally they had said that they were doing like a swimsuit debut thing with the models. So I was like, okay, I have options of everything they could ever need me to wear. I'm like, I got this on lock. I land at like 10 p.m. and creative's like, hey, can you wear a black dress tomorrow? You best believe I did not pack a black dress.
You packed everything but.
Yep. And I was like, you got it. Woke up, went to the mall, found a little black dress. And I did Monday morning, I called Natalia. I don't even know if she remembers this, but I called her. They told me not to tell anyone. So I told no one I was going. My boyfriend knew, and that was it. And I actually think I told Brennan's sister because I knew I was going to be with them. And then I called Natalia, and I'm like, because I was hoping she was going to be there, and I had trained with her. And that was the 1 week probably in her entire career that she was not going to be at TV. Wow. And I was like, oh no. But gratefully, I walked in, and Liv was like the first person I saw in the locker room, and she took me under her wing, showed me catering, brought me into the makeup room, just really helped me so much because I was shaking in my boots.
But you guys did such great stuff with Maximum Male Models. And then it kind of transitions into you doing stuff with Alpha Academy. Yeah. So like you being in these groups, I feel like helps to elevate you. Also, you help to elevate the group.
I hope so.
It works really well.
Thank you. I love it. And I feel very grateful. I don't think that I think that things would have panned out very differently for me if I wasn't in that. And I think that I'm in a place right now where I know I'm so new. I'm so new to all of this in comparison to everyone. And I know that I have so much to learn. And so thankfully I've been placed with these people who have been so generous with their knowledge. Like I don't know what would happen if I wasn't placed with them.
I'm fascinated by the idea that like something bad in your life happens, but it leads to something good.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
this is why Back to the Future is my favorite movie, and I talk about this nonstop.
Well, I don't know if you know something, but I don't watch movies and I have not seen Back to the Future.
Well, it's been so nice having you here, and
See ya.
that'll be oh, wow. Well, you need to watch this. This
Okay.
is required viewing. But the idea that like you got injured, I'm sure you were so bummed about
Yeah.
that. But look how that ended up turning into something
Yes.
so much better for you.
Yeah, and I feel the same way. And I do think it was a great lesson for me in general in life of like on multiple different levels. I feel like when I got hurt, it was obviously I was down bad for a moment there, but it also was the first time that I like started really investing in my mindset. I read the 4 Agreements, and that's when I really like kind of shifted my like, okay, I really gotta.
I love that book.
Me too. And that was the first time I read it was when I was hurt, and not to be, whatever. Everyone has their own thoughts on it, but for me, it was like this happened. It put me in a position where I had to adjust my mindset to survive and be happy and continue doing what I'm doing and everything,
Yeah.
and push forward in this career. And that I think that book helped me a lot. And then now it's like, okay, if obviously it'd be heartbreaking if I got injured or something happened. However, I do think now I'm in a much stronger mental space from that experience.
The 4 agreements are such simple agreements that you make with yourself.
Yeah.
But also at the same time, like really difficult to keep them,
No,
right?
it is. And I think,
What is it? Be impeccable with your word.
yep.
Don't make assumptions. Always do your best.
I don't even know the 4th one off the top of my
Oh
head,
my-
but I'm
I do
actually
this-
so impressed that you have those memorized.
I do this every time. I always forget. Did I say don't make assumptions?
Yep.
Don't make assumptions.
Be impeccable with your word.
Always do your best. Let's just look it up.
Okay,
We have
yeah,
all
look
the
it
world's
up.
information.
Look it up while I clear my throat off of this mic.
I recommend this book to everyone because it's like, again, they're so simple.
Yeah.
But at the same time, also like okay. Be impeccable with your word. Don't take anything personally. Don't make assumptions. Always do your best.
You know what? I actually need to reread it to get that fresh in my mind, because that actual last one was the most important one, I think.
Yeah, don't take anything personally.
And I just read Don't Believe Everything You Think.
Oh, it's another great one.
Kathy Kelly recommended it to me, and now I'm reading The Big Leap, which she also
Ooh, I
recommended.
haven't read that one.
Also so good. It's about just like unlocking that upper level like genius zone and like really stopping yourself from stopping yourself, essentially.
Ooh.
And it's really good.
Okay, that's next on my
Yes,
list.
and I feel like everyone probably in this industry is an overthinker and wants to be the best and all those things like that we naturally have. And it's so easy to like spiral over things. And I feel like those books have really helped me like just live in a state of gratitude and be in a place of like, okay, you know what? Sometimes things are just what they are, and you
Yeah.
grow from them, and you just have to do your best to get 1% better every day and keep moving.
I mean, gratitude's like the whole, it's on my shirt here. Like,
Yes.
this is grateful. This is
Yeah.
how I live my life.
Same.
Like, because if you can focus on the things that you have in your
Yeah.
life rather than being focused on the things you don't have,
Yeah.
it changes your entire mindset.
It does. Did you ever watch the movie The Secret?
Of course.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I watched that when I was like 19, and that was my first introduction into having control of your mind and how powerful your brain is.
Yeah.
And before that, this is like kind of embarrassing, but whatever. I'm just definitely the kind of person where like I'd be driving and I'd be like daydreaming, but about negative things, like almost like daydreaming, craving negative attention in some weird way. And that movie and those books have like really helped my brain be like, nope, I don't want that to happen. I don't want negative attention. I don't want negativity. I don't want anything bad to happen. But it's reading that book makes you stop and look inward and be like, why am I thinking that? Why am I not content with just what I'm doing
Yeah.
right now? Why is my brain daydreaming that way? And like stopping and controlling
Yeah.
it is such a powerful tool.
Have you read The Subtle Art of Not Giving an F?
I have not, but I've heard great things about it.
That
Should
one
I?
really changed my life. Yeah. And it's
Okay.
so simple. It's not the idea of not caring about anything.
Yeah.
But it's the idea of like,
That's actually why I haven't picked it up.
it's the idea about like, of course, you have so many F's to give
Yes.
in a day. It's important to make those ones count. Like
Yes.
instead of caring about like
Every little thing.
the person who cut you off on the
Mm-hmm.
freeway or, the person who bumped into you by accident at the store,
Yeah.
like you care about the things that matter.
Yeah, I'm going to read that next.
That's such a good one. So that and Back to the Future.
That and Back to the Future on my to-do list for this weekend.
Have you not seen any movies?
Okay, so it's kind of a joke, but I've watched, it's a joke, but it's not. I go to the movies now.
Okay, I'm nervous here.
Because
What have you not seen?
everything. Because I like going to the movies for popcorn or Diet Coke. That's why I go to the
Fair
movies.
enough.
I have this thing where I love TV shows. I love sitcoms. I love shows I've already watched, and I love to rewatch them. I don't know why I'm like this, but like movies low key make me sad when they end.
So like if I list off some classic films, are we going to all be very disappointed here?
Well, Chad Gable and Otis, they have a list of movies they would like me to watch, and I'm working on it. You know, like one time they made me watch a movie, and then I literally had to answer questions on it.
What movie?
Dazed and Confused.
Okay, great movie.
Yeah, it was really good.
Did you pass the test after?
did.
Okay, great.
Although me and Otis are still arguing over one of the questions that he says I got wrong that I swear I got right, but we'll say that for another time.
What about Jurassic Park? It's the one with the dinosaurs?
I've seen one of them in theaters, but there's like multiple, right?
Yeah, I think there's like 5 now.
Okay, I've seen one. In
So
theaters.
you might have seen like Jurassic World? Like recent was Chris Pratt in it?
I feel like he probably was, yeah.
Okay, so that's one of the newer ones.
Yeah.
Star Wars? Any of the Star Wars? Okay.
And I actually, though, this will, maybe you'll like this, I did watch Harry Potter for the first time, like, in the past 2 years. Like,
Okay.
I'd never seen it growing up.
So you saw one of them?
I watched, like, the first 3, and then I've seen a bunch of, like, little bits of the rest.
Okay.
Yeah.
Lord of the Rings?
Never.
Forrest Gump?
Yeah.
Okay.
Run, Forrest, run.
Hey, yeah, so you've got some.
I got a few.
Like any Tom Cruise movies?
I don't think so. Maybe a few.
Yeah, Mission Impossible. There's been 7 of them.
Yeah, you know.
Anyway.
I'm sure I've seen 1 or 2 here and there.
We'll get back to it in just a second, but I have to tell you about Magic Spoon because one of my goals this year was to cut back on sugar, and Magic Spoon makes that easier and more delicious than ever. Their variety pack has 4 flavors: cocoa, fruity, frosted, and peanut butter. And this pack has 0 grams of sugar, 13 to 14 grams of protein, and 4 to 5 grams of net carbs, and only 140 calories per serving. So it's high protein, 0 grams of sugar, gluten-free, grain-free, and soy-free. So this right here is my favorite, the fruity flavor, and it's like eating a bowl of wholesome nostalgia. You've got all of those great fruity flavors there and 0 grams of sugar. Go to magicspoon.com/CVV to support the show and to give Magic Spoon a try. Use our code CVV to save $5 on your order. That's magicspoon.com/CVV. Now it's time for me to eat some more of this. Time for you to enjoy the rest of this interview.
What's the TV show that you're always rewatching?
I love Friends. I love New Girl. I love How I Met Your Mother. I love Sex and the City.
Oh, okay.
I love
Classics.
Yes, I love a good sitcom TV show that like you don't have to really think about.
I love sitcoms or just TV shows in general where
Yeah.
you can dive into
Any episode.
season 4, episode 6,
Yes.
and you're like, oh yeah.
Same. I love that.
Seinfeld is perfect for that.
I like Seinfeld. I haven't watched it top to bottom, so I don't really know what's going on, but I like it.
But that's the thing, you could jump all the way around on
Yeah.
that show.
And you're still good.
Yeah, every show's kind of self-contained.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I like The Crown. Like I like Bridgerton. I like those like kind of shows.
I've never seen either of those.
Okay, both are
So
good.
now I've disappointed you.
I mean, honestly, no, it's okay. I forgive you.
And I forgive you for
Thank you.
not seeing the dinosaur movie.
Thank you. Thank you for that.
And the Flying DeLorean movie.
Yeah, sure.
If we go back before WWE,
Yeah.
when did your passion for dancing begin?
So my mom put me in dance when I was 3. And I was actually with her yesterday at Disneyland. She joined the Cardona family Disney Day. And we were just talking about this. She put me in dance when I was 3, but like by the time I was 6, I was like begging my mom to put me in pageants. And she wouldn't. Because she wasn't into like the pageant mom thing. She was like, no. And my brother was a very good gymnast. And my dad was really into gymnastics. So my brother was doing gym. So then I started competing in gymnastics when I was like 6. So I did like competing in gymnastics and was dancing. And so I was like 9. And then 9 or 10. And then I ended up quitting gymnastics and going back to dance. And when I went back to dance at like 10, I was like full throttle, 6 days a week. I wanted to compete nonstop. I was
Wow.
like, get me an agent, parents. My parents were like, no. I was like, put me in a movie. They were like, no. I was like, please, no.
Then that led to competitive dancing.
Yeah, so I competed in dance all through high school. And then when I was 16, my parents finally let me audition for an agent. So my mom flew me out to LA and I signed with a dance agency and then I signed with a modeling agency. So then my junior and senior year of high school, my mom is like such an angel. She would fly me out here like once a week and we would go to auditions and do jobs and go to Disneyland.
Was there anything that you got booked in that time that we could find you in now?
I don't know if I want to say. No, I did dance for an artist, like a really small artist, for like a little bit, but so it would be like on YouTube or something random if we even found it. I'm very young in it.
Like on tour?
I did when I was 18. I did go on tour when I was 18. That was when I did that when I was 16. Then I modeled for people that you could find. Like I did like Taco Bell and Grubhub and Adidas and that kind of stuff.
Were you dancing in music videos? Could we find you in a music video?
Because when I was auditioning for music videos, I was like 18, 19, and then I started cheering for the Rams. And I think I got a little discouraged because like there was a time when I was like 19 and I made it to the final round for Jason Derulo, and then they were like, we want everyone to be over 21. And I was like, oh. And that happens a lot with those kind of music videos. And so I kind of just got to a point where like in the dance world, I don't want to say it's oversaturated because I love how many dancers are in LA and like hustling and killing it. But I think for me and like what I was best at, I don't think I was like thriving in that scenario.
Sure.
So basically I was like, okay, so I ended up going on tour when I was 18 with an artist, a smaller artist. And this artist was opening for Emblem 3, which are from X Factor. So we went all throughout the US and Canada for a month in like a Mercedes Sprinter van. Wow. Yeah. And I was 18. I think I was 18 or just turned 19. And I feel like no one actually knows this. I started cheering first for an arena football team.
Which one?
LA Kiss.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I had made that team. They let me leave for a month, go on tour. So I missed part of the season. And we were supposed to do 2 months of tour, but we ended up not because it was not a positive experience. So we ended up coming back and I finished out my season with arena football before going to Rams.
And then so you auditioned for the Rams? And
yeah.
You get it your first season? Mm-hmm. That's amazing.
Yeah, thank
wow.
you. It was so fun.
How many people audition to be an NFL cheerleader?
A lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, especially for Rams because they're in Los Angeles. And the thing that I think people don't realize with people who are dancers, models, actresses, all of that, it's not consistent income unless you're like in the top 3%. So it's like you might book a job for Adidas and get paid $2,000 for one day, but then you're not booking another job for 3 months and your rent is $2,000.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like it's hard to have that balance. And I think the beautiful thing about Rams is it's part-time, it's consistent pay. It's exposure. It's good for the resume.
Yeah.
It was such a positive experience.
I know you guys don't make a lot.
No.
So like the fact that you can still do other stuff,
yes.
That's encouraging.
And even though we don't make a lot, you do get paid for every single thing you do. You're never working for free. They're adamant about that because there's been so many lawsuits and stuff. So that part of it's very nice.
So you're getting paid for practices. You're getting paid. There's a lot of appearances.
And
then of course
days,
games. Yeah.
And you're getting paid like by the hour. So the second you show up, it's not like the old days where they give the girls $100 and they're there for 15 hours.
Right. So through that experience, you went to the Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm. Yes. It was crazy. And such a blessing that I got to go because, so I did 2 years on Rams. My first year was amazing. It was like I was so young and it was just so much fun. And then at the end of my first season, my brother passed away and I missed a lot of rehearsals and stuff. And then I came back for my second season, made the team, and I was just like not in a good headspace. And I was in this position of like, if my parents were like if my dad was like, oh, we're going to go on a trip to Hawaii for a week, I was like, okay, I'm coming. Like, I just wanted to have family time.
Sure.
And I skipped a lot of practices for things like that, which I'm grateful that I have those memories with my family. And I think in that moment, that's what I needed. However, I did miss more rehearsals than I was technically allowed to. So one of the trips I went on, my coach was like, you can go. I want you to have time with your family, but you're not going to be eligible to travel for future trips. And I was like, okay, this is pre-going to the Super Bowl. So I'm like, no worries. Because usually I got to go to Mexico City my first year and we were promoting the game for the next season. We went to London for a game. So I was like, okay, if I go on this trip, I just won't be eligible for those.
Yeah.
And I was okay with like taking that L.
Yeah.
And then we make it to the Super Bowl.
And what Super Bowl is this? Wait, where was it?
53.
Is that a tattoo?
Yeah.
Oh, it's the Roman numerals.
Yes.
Okay.
In Atlanta.
L-I-I. Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So then
And where was it?
Atlanta.
Okay, Atlanta.
So then I was like, we make it to the Super Bowl, and then I'm like, wow, I chose a really bad time to take a family vacation and be not eligible to travel. That was a crazy idea. However, we had the most amazing director, and I think she knew that like I had, good intention and I wasn't trying to slack off. I just was in a tough situation. So she hustled and got all 40 of us to go to Super Bowl.
Wow. And who was your quarterback at the time?
Jared Goff.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rough Super Bowl, man. Let me tell you.
Well,
Yeah.
Wait, if you guys won,
Yeah.
you would have a ring.
Yes, and you know what else would have happened? When all the confetti went out, I would have slid out there and made confetti angels like the Patriots cheerleaders got to.
Oh, the fact that you went to the Super Bowl.
It was so cool. My mom came, my cousin, my aunt. It was insane.
How did you decide to not cheer again the next season?
I felt fulfilled. I felt really like content with my experience. And I think, I've never said this out loud, but I think in my head, I probably felt like I didn't have the best season because of everything I was going through from that year.
Yeah.
And I didn't feel like you have to retry out every year. I think I didn't feel like I was going to be given the same grace on a third season maybe.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that's true. I think that's just what I put in my own head. But I also think it was time for me to get out of LA. It was like, I was just going through a lot and I wasn't in a healthy headspace. So I felt like, okay, I need to get myself, just more grounded.
Yeah.
So at the time I wasn't planning on leaving LA. I was just planning on going to dance for NBA. And I tried out for the Lakers and didn't make it. And I was like, okay, now what? So I didn't tell anyone. And I flew to Arizona at 5 a.m. the day of their tryout and tried out for the Suns. And then, this is actually the best story that I've never told. I
Bring it.
Here we go. I fly in at 5 a.m. I'm like, all right, whatever, YOLO. No one knows me here. I don't know anyone here. Who cares what happens?
Yeah.
Do the tryout. I didn't know that. I thought day 2 was the next week. Day 2 was day 2 the next day. So I'm in Arizona for one day. My flight's at like 9 p.m. after tryout. I make it to the second round. And they're like, okay, be back at 9 a.m. tomorrow. I have a backpack. I have no clothes. I have my one audition outfit. And I am like, this is going to put me in a pickle. So there's this girl who's now is like one of my closest friends. I love her so much. Kayla, she was on the team. It was like her 3rd year. And she had actually auditioned for Rams and didn't make it. And I knew she auditioned for Rams, so I felt comfortable going up to her. And I was like, hey, like, what's the vibe here? Like, what's going on? Are we back tomorrow? She's like, yeah. She's like, where are you staying? And I was like, I don't know. Like, I don't have a place to stay. So I end up walking across the street and getting a hotel. I go to TJ Maxx. I buy a bunch of clothes. Then the next day I make it to finals, which is like 2 weeks, which starts the next day. So now I have 2 more weeks there. And she's like, just stay at my house. Stay in my casita. I literally move in with this girl that I met 2 days prior.
Wow.
Yes. Then she's like, well, just have your boyfriend fly out and you guys can both stay here and he can bring you a suitcase.
What?
Yes. Like, no, she's
Wow.
literally an angel on earth. So then my boyfriend flies out with suitcases for me and I finished the tryouts, make the team. And then we went back to LA, got a U-Haul, packed it up, and moved to Arizona.
That's an amazing story.
Yeah, it was awesome. And that's why I always say, like, again, everything happens for a reason.
Yeah.
I'm so grateful I didn't make Lakers. I don't think it would have been what I needed at that time. Like, I needed a really good core group of friends. I needed to be grounded. I needed to not be in the LA scene. I needed a break from that. And that's exactly what I got in Arizona.
But would you have been cheering for LeBron if you made the Lakers?
I mean, I'm a Phoenix Suns fan.
The funny thing about LA is I feel like for the people that come here chasing whatever the dream is, whether it's dancing or acting or modeling or content creation, whatever, I feel like LA either does the thing for them or not.
Yeah.
And when people leave LA, nobody is like, I really want to get back to LA.
Yes.
Everybody that I've ever known that has come here and done their thing and left, they've gone, yeah, no, that was a great chapter of my life.
Yes.
And it was
Learned
good.
a lot.
And yeah, I'm on to the next thing.
Yeah. I do think that in this phase of life, because I'm just so much more like confident in who I am and comfortable. And like, I do think I could live in LA now and do it much better. Or not, I shouldn't say better, different. I'm in a different stage of life.
Yeah.
But
You're a WWE superstar now.
But I still don't think I would enjoy it as much as some people do, maybe.
If you have an actual career like you do now, rather than a part-time job or chasing the gigs and
it's
the freelancing, so different.
Yes.
Because you know how much money is coming in every paycheck.
Exactly. You can survive.
Right. Rather than like going all these auditions, hoping you book one of them.
Working 5 random jobs.
Yeah. Checking the
Trying to do it
mailbox
all.
for a residual check that might be showing up or might not be.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you could do it now.
Yeah, it would be fun now, I think. But I think, honestly, the main reason I wouldn't now is, 1, I train at the Performance Center all the time. So even if I did, we're talking way down the road. But 2, I just feel like all of our shows are on the East Coast. Like everyone that travels from the West Coast, I'm like, I don't know how you do it. Like that's just that extra 2 hours on a plane, man.
And then a 3-hour time gain
different.
or loss.
I think that would be hard for me. That's the part that would be hard.
Yeah. So how did you go from Suns to then going, I'm going to try out for the WWE?
Yeah. Okay. So I love Total Divas. So and since high school. So it had always been in the back of my head. I was like such a Bella Twins fan. I was like, yes, love this.
Nikki or Brie?
I love them both, but I'm a Nikki girl till I die. Brie, I love you so much too, though. So basically, my dad's dad, my papa, is a diehard fan. Like his whole life, he watches Monday Night Wrestling. He passed away recently, but he always watched Monday Night Wrestling. That was like his thing. And when I got into Total Divas on like Thanksgiving and Christmas and stuff, he would talk about Monday nights. And I literally did not know that was the same thing that I watched. And then I was like, wait, like this person's wife? Oh yeah, they're on the show. Like that's how they connect. So then we would have this like fun bonding moment talking about all of it. And he used to take my dad to shows. So like us three just like loved talking about it. And then there was like a Father's Day where we were all like joking around and I was like, no, I'm going to apply. Like, I think I should do it. And my papa was like, no, you can't do a kip up. You can't do that. And I was like, so I went in the backyard and I was like doing kip ups and head springs. And I was like, yeah, I can. And he was like, yeah, you should apply.
So do you just Google like when's the next WWE tryout?
So I Googled how to apply, which they have like a thing on their website. So I applied to that a couple times and then never heard anything. And then I ended up reaching out to my modeling agency and I just sent an email and I said, hey, this is so random, but I have this like random life goal of being in the WWE. If you know anyone that you connect me with, please let me know.
Yeah.
2 weeks later, I got an email that I had the Las Vegas tryout.
Wow.
Yeah. So I don't know if she, because I never heard anything. So I don't know if she knew someone or if they just, you know, if maybe she knew a recruiter, maybe they finally saw my application. I don't know.
So you show up at the tryout.
Yeah.
How many people are there?
I want to say 50.
Okay. And there's a lot of, you know, all different walks of life, right?
Yeah.
You've got some former athletes, you've got some models perhaps, you've got some people that may have wrestled on the independent circuit.
Yep.
So you've got all different walks of life. How did you make yourself stand out to get signed?
I think for me, a couple of things. I don't believe in luck. I believe in like preparation meets opportunity. I researched a lot before I went and there is not a lot on the internet about tryouts. I think there's a lot more now, but then there was really nothing. There was one girl who did a tryout who did a YouTube video talking about her experience. And I watched it like 5 times to kind of get the gist. And then I had actually gone home, right? I had notice of the tryout and I was home in California having dinner with my dad. And I was like, I'm just nervous because every time I've auditioned for a dance team, I've known who the director is. I've been big on research. Like I know who's on the team. I've studied what kind of makeup they do, what style outfit they wear so I can like look the part.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't know anything. I don't know what I'm going into. I can't find any information.
Yeah.
That night I'm scrolling on Instagram and a girl that I was on Rams with posts this girl, which was Vanessa Bourne, Danielle Camila, that she's with her. And it says, I see that she was a WWE Superstar. And I was like, wait. So I messaged her and I'm like, hey, please don't tell anyone, but I have a tryout. Would you mind like asking her if she would talk to me? So Danielle ends up, she lives in Arizona. So she was living by me. She trains me for the tryout. Yes, like
wow,
just free of charge, everything. Like just was like, yeah, I'll totally help you. So she met me first at like a cheer gym that I was coaching at. And she was like, okay, just show me your roles and stuff. And she was like, okay, cool. And then she was like, you're going to need a 1-minute promo. So I started working on a promo. Then we ended up renting a ring. And Dom, who owns the place that we rented, and after he saw us training, he was like, hey, I'll train you whenever you want, if you want to keep coming in. So I came in like a couple more times just for like rolls and like back bumps and running the ropes, just like basic stuff.
Yeah.
And from there, I went to the tryout. So I think the preparation helped, obviously. And I had a gymnastics and dance background. So I think the tryout really is more forward rolls, backward rolls, shuffles, like just looking athletic, looking at your footwork. So I felt confident in that. But I think knowing like, okay, I'm going to do this promo. I have a good idea of what I can do. I think that's what helped me stand out, honestly, was just being prepared.
I mean, I'm guessing they're hoping that people aren't going to be, you know, after a few front rolls and bumps going,
yes. Yeah, there was a lot of conditioning.
Okay, yeah. So they're taking notes like, oh, that person's no good. They wouldn't be able to laugh.
Yeah, exactly.
What was your promo?
It was essentially that I was a former NFL cheerleader, went to the Super Bowl, lost. Former NBA dancer, went to NBA finals, lost. And that I am done leaving
What a loser.
Yeah. But here's the kicker. Are we ready? I'm done leaving my championships in the hands of men who cannot get the job done.
Wow.
And that's why I was coming to WWE to take my own championship. I think that's really where I got them.
Sign this woman.
Yeah.
That's great. And then like you're signed like day of, right?
Yes, but from my understanding, I could be wrong, we were the first class that they did that with. In the past, you would do a tryout and you wouldn't hear for like months, and then you would get a call and then you would go. This was the first one where they were like, okay, everyone goes into their like locker rooms, which is like a hotel, whatever. So we're like waiting. And all the girls are in one room, all the guys are in one room. And then they're coming in asking people one at a time to come out. And then the girls are coming back in like, oh my God, I got signed. And we're like, yay. And then we all sit like, who's next? So they told us that day. Offered the contract, and like, you'll move to Orlando in 30 days.
Wow.
Yeah. So the first person I called was my papa and told him. And he was so happy. And he was like, what'd your dad say? And I was like, I didn't even call him yet, Papa. I called you first. And he was like so excited. It was so
wow.
sweet. Yeah, he loved it.
Who else from that tryout got signed that we know?
Nikita. Yep.
Okay.
Who else? Javier Bernal.
Okay. Yeah.
Tatum Paxley. Jakara Jackson. And then out of the guys, there's more guys. Idris Inofe. There's guys that I'm forgetting.
Like what, 15 people got signed, I think
Yes.
you said?
Yeah. But that's all so currently I believe that's the only girls that are currently left. And then there's a few other guys that I'm leaving out. And I'm sorry, guys, I can't remember right now off the top of my head.
Your level of preparation, I think, makes you stand out so much. Because I think there's a lot of people that go, I've got this tryout, like, yeah, I'll just see what happens on the day.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think for me, I had a good mindset because I was used to auditioning where I knew going in, I could be the most athletic, the best promo, and they just might already have a 5'9" blonde and not want me, and that's okay. So I think having that in my head gave me a level of confidence and just like, okay, I'm good.
Yeah. You are deceivingly tall. I don't know if people realize
wait,
this.
do you want to know something about me? I have short girl energy. This is my new thing
What do you mean?
that I've claimed. People always think that I'm short. People never believe me that I'm tall. And even people that I am with all the time, like, don't realize that I'm tall. And they'll one day be like, oh, how tall are you? Like 5'6"? And I'm like, I'm 5'9". And then they'll be like, oh yeah, you are.
If you wore heels all the time, you'd be like well over 6 foot. Then I think people would be like, oh.
Yes.
Wow, yeah.
But I think this is why. I was short in high school. Like, I grew later. I was like 5'6" when I graduated high school. So I think that I just was never tall. So that's why I think I have short girl energy.
Yeah, you're deceivingly tall.
Yeah, thank you. That's all I got.
I guess when you tower over Gable, maybe people will start to realize, oh yeah.
I'm so tall, guys. Give me some
So
credit.
tall.
To be fair, when I first was with them, I would wear my chunky high heels because I was, going from being a model to a wrestler. So I was like still in the high heels. And now I'm not usually wearing super high heels. So I do think that's,
Yeah, it may be hard to wrestle wearing heels.
I think that I could, I should try.
I mean, I feel like if anybody could do it.
I might break my ankle again, but.
Walk me through your first main roster match and what was going through your mind before.
Yeah. Okay, so our first one was a 6-man with the Viking Raiders. And it was amazing because I had the comfortability of being with the boys and I had them as like my safety net to fall back on. I was extremely nervous, as I am every single Monday. Just because you want to be great, but I'm also so new. I haven't performed in front of a crowd like that ever. So it was scary. The thing that I was grateful for in that moment was I had done a little bit of physicality. We had done the arm drag on the outside, the suplex on the outside, and shout out Valhalla for just taking bumps for me on the outside all the time. Ooh, I love her for that. And I think having those interactions helped a lot for that first match. I was way more nervous for my first singles because there's, it's us.
Yeah.
We're out there. I
mean, and you went over on Valhalla.
Yeah. It's crazy.
You have this infectious energy before you do the worm. I feel like I'm feeling it when you're doing it.
Thank you. There's something just so cringy about me that just loves to shine when I'm in there.
It's, I mean this with great love. It's like this awkward energy that I think a lot of people watching go, I see a little bit of myself in that.
Thank you. Chad always tells me that because I always am like, this is so embarrassing to watch back. I look insane. I don't know what face I'm making. And I don't know why my hips are moving like that.
It's all in the hips, right?
But, yes. But, it's it's also been a really cool pivotal moment for me because I am really awkward and I am really goofy. I've just been hiding it from the world for so long. And I've been putting on this I always loved influencers and social media. So I was the girl that had the same filter on every photo so it looked cohesive. That has always kind of been my MO. So I think coming into this space where it's celebrated that I'm goofy and awkward, I'm like, oh, this is kind of fun.
Well, it's authentic.
Yes. And this is the first time in my life I've gotten to do that.
Yeah. So how did you learn how to do the worm?
Okay. So funny story. Me and my mom went on Below Deck Mediterranean in 2021 or 2020. And on Below Deck, we did an Oktoberfest thing, and I was wearing a beer suit. That was what I wanted to dress up as.
This is the TV show where people like live and they live on the boats.
It's a TV show about the crew who work on the boat, and every episode is new guests. So we were guests on 2 episodes. And I was feeling good, you know. Got the cocktails flowing, and I was like, I should do the worm in this beer suit. So I did the worm backwards, and I was like, you know, that was my claim to fame, my good moment. So when WWE was like, hey, we want you to do the worm, I was like, oh, no problem. I've literally done it on TV before. I'm a star worm doer. Don't even worry. I didn't realize how much harder it is to do it forward. So we're in the ring, and I'm rehearsing it, and I literally cannot do it. My arms are not strong enough to push myself up. I'm flopping on my knees so hard, and I'm like, and they're like, you just got to do it. It'll be funny if it's bad. Like, don't even worry, just do it. So I do it, and it looked like it looked, and it is what it is.
And what did Corey Graves say? It's like a hinge and a caterpillar.
Literally. So it got a little better and a little better each time. And at the Rumble, I finally was like, you know what? I'm doing it backwards. I know I can do it well backwards. It takes way less energy because, you know, props to Otis. It is so hard to push yourself up out of it. It's the push-up part that I'm not there yet. Doing it backwards is so easy. So then now that I do it backwards, now I do feel like a confident worm doer, but I did not before.
Props to Otis just for like the athleticism he has. Like he's built like a bowling ball.
And he's agile.
Incredibly agile. It's amazing to see the things he can do. And I think when he pulled out the worm.
And he's so strong. Like he can do so much.
When he pulled out the worm for the first time, I think it's like, oh, that's unique.
Yeah.
So talk to me about the Royal Rumble.
Yeah. So back to being prepared. I obviously didn't know if I was going to be in it or not.
When did they tell you?
I found out, I'm going to say a week before.
Okay.
But you best believe I had gear coming in 4 months prior for the Rumble that I didn't know if I was in. And I was very nervous just because I'm like, obviously it's a huge platform. There's only so many spots, so you want to like represent well and do well. And it's always nerve-wracking. As much as I feel like for some people, maybe it's less nerve-wracking when there's a lot of people in there. I think because I'm so green, it's more nerve-wracking for me when there's that many people in there because I'm like, am I in the way? What do I do? Am I like, I don't want to, step on anyone's thing. There's so many moving parts and I'm not quite to the headspace yet where I can just like be calm and be present.
And you had a big moment in there. Like,
and
even though there were a lot of people in the ring, all eyes were on you for that moment.
Yeah, and it was fun. And, I got to hit the worm on Nia Jax. It's awesome. Got eliminated by Bailey. Like if the winner wants to eliminate me, so be it.
Ooh, good point.
Yeah.
Yeah, the winner has to eliminate you.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it was awesome. My mom was there and my boyfriend and my aunt, and it was awesome.
You've been given a lot of big opportunities.
I have. I'm very grateful. I feel like I've just been so blessed that they've continued to give me opportunities to grow and learn on TV.
Like a match with Rhea Ripley.
Yeah. Yeah. That was crazy.
Yeah, and but I think clearly there's a lot of trust there. If they're going to put you in the ring with the champion.
Yeah, and I think especially in her, right? Like she's a vet and she definitely can hold her own with anyone. And I think for me it was just one, a huge compliment that they would even consider me to do that. And two, that, they're going to, like, I think what people forget sometimes is like, there's not a lot of TV time and we do have a really large roster. So if I get 3 minutes in the ring with the champ, like that is such a huge moment.
Yeah.
And that was really cool. And it was a good learning experience for me to get to face her and work with her and really have that moment.
Is there something that you picked up from, even though it's a short match, something that you picked up from her that you now go, okay, I'm going to bring that with me to my next bunch of matches?
Yeah, I think a lot of things. I think one, for me, timing in that match. I was so nervous. I think that I was just a little scatterbrained. And I think that she is so calm, cool, and collected. And I think that's the coolest thing about her. Like that's some energy that I want to take and run with. Like she knows who she is. She knows what she's doing. And like there's not an ounce of worry or anything on her face. And I think that's so cool. And that's something that I would love to steal from her and carry with me. Just a little bit of that kind of confidence.
But what I appreciate about you is the self-awareness to go, I am green. I'm still figuring it out.
Yeah.
I'm still training a lot. Yeah. And I think that there would be a lot of people that are going, no, I'm in WWE. I'm on Raw. I've got it.
Yeah, I don't. I'm trying.
Maybe that goes back to the whole preparation thing.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think too, just I know I see how much talent we have between Smackdown and Raw and in developmental. And I know that there's so many girls that would kill for 3 minutes on Raw. So I just always want to take that opportunity and really do what I can with it, but also just remember the position I'm in and that I need to continue to prove myself and, you know, make all of them proud. Like they would love that opportunity and it's being given to me. So I need to make sure I make the most of it and continue to get better. So it's like, okay, if we're going to throw someone in the deep end and give them opportunities, like, are they going to cry and not do it and throw, you know what I mean? Or are they going to step up and figure it out and learn and grow?
You were put into such a unique position because you're put into this faction that already exists. You're given the name basically of a character that already exists, and you're the sister of this character, and then that character's not there anymore. So now you're filling those shoes. Now you're not even in that faction, but you still have this name.
I'm a little chameleon, aren't I?
I mean, seriously. So what's so interesting about it is you're basically given like the female Max Dupri gimmick.
Yes.
But now you're not with Maximum Male Models. You're doing your own thing in Alpha Academy, and it still works.
Thank you. And I think, honestly, I don't know that the plan was for me to join them officially. Maybe it was and I didn't know. But from my understanding, it was more just, you know, this like fun storyline with me and Otis. And I think that the chemistry was there between me and the boys and it like worked. And I think it just happened naturally from my understanding. Don't quote me, I could be wrong. But from my understanding, I think that's what happened is the chemistry was there and it worked for us to mesh together.
Oh, it works.
Yeah.
Can you give us your best thank you?
Thank you. You know what's crazy too is sometimes when I like hear those back when I do it in the ring, like the way that I sound is outrageous. I don't know how that sound comes out of my body.
I mean,
it's really wild.
Well, that's Maxine,
it
right?
is.
This is Sydney that's sitting right here.
It's true. Maxine just pops out of nowhere.
Ooh, back to the movie references because I just thought of something. Have you seen Scream?
No.
Oh, your name is a very famous character in that movie.
People have told me that.
Hello, Sydney.
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what's funny is people have probably always done that to me from that movie, and I probably just thought they were being weird, you know?
You like scary movies.
Hate them.
Oh.
Hate scary movies.
That's the whole line.
Oh, I thought it was a question. My bad. Sorry.
He calls her, what's your favorite scary movie?
Oh.
And then it's this whole setup. Oh, it's a fantastic scene.
Shoot.
It's not that Scream's not that scary.
You should have seen me on Guardians of the Galaxy yesterday.
I saw the picture.
Yeah, I thought I was going to die. I've just never been so scared.
That photo, because you just shared it on Instagram, is hilarious because you look like you're terrified.
I was.
Your mom's sitting next to you like cool as a cucumber.
Yeah, it's unreal. Well, this is the thing. The one thing I said going to Disneyland, I said, the only ride I won't do is Tower of Terror. I don't like the up and down. Doesn't do it for me. It scares me. I don't know. I'm not into it. And they were like, no. It's Guardians of the Galaxy now. It's way more about like the music and the vibe than it is about the up and down.
Yeah.
It is quite literally about the up and down. I had my eyes closed the entire time. I was hunched over, hanging onto it because I feel like if you crunch your core, the drop hurts less in your tummy. It was a lot.
It's a great technique.
Yeah. It was a lot.
The photo is fantastic.
Yeah. Oh.
What are your goals in WWE?
My goal is to just my goal is honestly, I want to do this as long as I can. As long as they will employ me, I want to be in WWE. I have so much fun and I am happy to do whatever they want me to do. Like I love going to work. I love performing. I love the people I work with. I just feel so lucky to be in this position. Of course, I would love to win some gold or something fun like that. And I really want to improve in the ring and just continue to prove myself there. And even like with promo skills, everything. Like I think my goal for this year is I just want like to have a match or something in December where I look back at January and what I did and be like, oh, it's not even the same person.
Yeah.
That's my goal, truthfully.
Look, if you can't look back at your old stuff and cringe a little bit,
then
you're not heading in the right direction.
For sure.
And that will definitely be the case.
I would love if they brought back like a mixed tag challenge.
Oh.
Or like a mixed tag team belt.
With Alpha Academy?
Yeah.
Ah.
Something like that would be awesome.
I had Chelsea on the show, Chelsea Green on the show recently.
The love of my life.
She's fantastic.
Yes, I love her so much.
She said something that sounds very similar to what you're saying. Like, it doesn't matter about like wins and losses. It's about like creating moments.
Yes. Her moment on Monday in the Battle Royal. Her sneaking up and this little jumpity-doo before she went for Raquel was just iconic.
Yeah.
And I love that for her because when I told her like how much everyone popped for her, she was like, wait, what part? Like she didn't even realize that she did that. That's just like her being her in the ring, and it's so cool.
Yeah.
Because she knows who she is, and I love that.
She was saying that like she's like, I wish that I was in the Divas era. And she said, you know what? I also think that Sydney like belonged in the Divas era too. And there's something about just the way that you guys present yourselves.
Thank you.
Yeah, and I mean that's a compliment from her. So you can thank Chelsea, not me.
Thank you, Chelsea.
Is Chelsea who you're normally traveling with?
Yeah.
Oh, that must be a wild car ride.
Yeah. And it's funny because whenever we're with my mom is like, well, we like chit-chatting back and forth. And my mom is like, I don't even know what you guys are talking about. You're talking so fast. I don't know what's going on. We are like literally the same person in a different font.
In a different font?
Yeah.
What kind of music are you listening to?
We actually don't listen to music. We talk the whole time. We have so much to discuss. We listen to nothing. We just talk. We have so much to say.
I don't know if people realize that when you're on the road with WWE, it's like it's fly to a city.
Yep.
It's immediately rent a car.
Yep.
And then it's drive to wherever the hotel is and then drive to the venue.
Yeah.
So are you guys also traveling together too?
Yes. We share a car and share a hotel. Yeah. Gotta have sleepovers. We love it.
This is a lot of time.
Yes. We have great Mondays. Yeah. It's awesome. I honestly, like, truthfully, I don't know what I would do if I didn't have her because it just makes the traveling so much fun. And it's so much more comfortable. And like, you know, you get done at work and if there's something that's on your mind or something you want to talk about, or if you want to not talk about work, it's like having someone there is so cool.
If Matt Cardona goes back to WWE,
I know, and
is he part of the group now?
I think that I'm going to I think I'm going to sleep on the couch.
Did Chelsea and Matt then do their own thing?
So I think that we've discussed this.
Oh, okay.
I think I'm going to allow Matt to share a room with his wife, maybe.
How kind of you.
I'm feeling kind. But I will be knocking on their door to get Chelsea for gym and breakfast at 8 a.m. when I wake up. Because Chelsea wakes up when I wake up. This is going to be the problem, is Chelsea has this thing where, I'm just sharing Chelsea's whole life. She has this thing where she wakes up when the other person wakes up. Like she never wakes up first, but as soon as like I open my eyes, like before I even check my phone, she can sense I'm awake and she wakes up.
Whoa.
So the issue is that Matt sleeps in. So then I'm like, you're going to accidentally sleep in because you're not going to sense me. So I'm going to have to stand outside the door like this so she can sense me to wake up and come to breakfast.
This is amazing.
Yeah, that's how I feel.
Would you guys still travel together?
Yeah.
Okay. Matt's in the back seat?
No, I would happily take the back seat. Okay. I would let mom and dad drive me around. It would be like, just like Disneyland yesterday. And this is all assuming that Matt is going to allow me to join the party.
This is assuming Matt even, goes back to WWE. This is a lot of assumptions here.
Yeah.
Until that day.
Matt's a star, so
He's totally a star. Until that day, though, it's the Chelsea and Sydney show.
Thank you.
Or the Sydney and Chelsea show. I don't know.
Chelsea and Sydney, that's cute.
Whatever you want.
I'm into it.
I mean, C comes before S in the alphabet, so.
Yes.
Sure.
Yeah.
I guess that can be what it is.
Works for me.
You're amazing.
Thank you.
You are so fun to hang out with.
Thank you. This is so great.
This has been such a blast, and this time
is reviving me. I feel like a new person. I'm ready to rock.
I feel like I should chug this thing.
Yeah. We should have shotgunned it. What were we thinking?
We just got this new invention device called a draft top. Have you heard of this?
No.
You clamp it on top, and it's like a can opener that takes the entire top off, and you can drink it.
Wait, hear me out.
Okay.
Would that cut your lip?
No,
okay.
it cut. I was thinking the same thing. It cuts it on the inside. My wife is obsessed with this thing.
That's amazing.
Hi, honey. Yeah, she's obsessed with this. Her name's Rachel. She's great.
Hi, Rachel. Yeah. I love Rachel Green.
Oh, yeah. So it cuts it on the inside, so you're drinking it like it's like a draft. And the cool thing about that is then you get the aromas because your nose is...
Because you're smelling it.
Yes.
That is amazing.
Yes.
Wow, I'm very into that.
We've talked a lot about gratitude throughout this whole conversation. You've peppered it in. Yes. I love that. You've spiced this interview.
I've spiced it up a little.
Some gratitude.
A little bit of this.
Oh, wow. Salt Bae?
Yeah.
Is that what that is?
Yeah, a little gratitude sprinkle.
That's beautiful.
Thank you.
I end every conversation with gratitude because it's such an important part of my life.
Yeah, I love that.
So what are 3 things in your life that you're grateful for right now?
I'm grateful for quality time with really wonderful people. I feel very blessed to be surrounded by such good energy 99.9% of my life, and especially like this week. Sitting with you, Disneyland yesterday, like I've just been really lucky to have that.
Ron, Anaheim.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I think gratitude. I'm very grateful to have a body that works so hard for me and like puts in the work and heals well and recovers well. And I'm grateful to get out of bed every day and feel good and be able to go and work out and just have that ability is so cool and be able to push myself.
Yeah, what a great way of putting that. Because a lot of people say health is one of the things they're grateful for. But the way that you phrased it there, I love that.
Thank you. And this last one is a little superficial, but just to throw it in there, I am grateful for Erewhon. I had the best lunch before I got here. I'm so happy to be in LA at Erewhon. I need an Erewhon near me. I can't wait to have a Hailey Bieber smoothie tomorrow.
You know, a $17 smoothie.
I'm ready.
Is probably what it costs.
Yeah, probably 19.
Erewhon is, their prices are
I know that everyone who
astonishing.
lives here hates it, but when you only get it like once every few months, it's incredible.
Like you go to like, their lunches are great.
Yeah.
Until you,
Wait, you would be disgusted if you knew how much mine costed today though.
can I guess?
Yeah, because I didn't mean for it to cost this much. I made a mistake.
Over or under? And by the way,
Also, let me preface with I
Please.
did the meat with 2 sides, the plate,
Okay.
and then I got a little bag of cookies.
and then it's by the pound, right?
Yes.
So it's basically like a hot food
Yes.
thing. So think of like going to like a deli and all the hot foods are there. And you've got
Yes.
salads and
It
vegetables
is like
and meats.
a deli, but if they sprinkled gold on top, and that's why it's so much.
The food is incredible.
Yes.
It's amazing. But then it's like, if you want, I don't know, steak, it's this much. If you want chicken,
Yes.
it's this much. Over, under $34.
Over. No, I almost cried. I almost was like, I don't know if I should swipe my credit card, but it's too late.
Over, under $45
Over.
for a lunch.
No, it was so bad. I don't know how this happened.
Oh,
I actually
man.
think like maybe the guy made a mistake.
This is why people hate LA.
Yeah, but then it
right?
was like, I'm not. That's embarrassing. I can't be like, oh my gosh, sorry, I didn't mean to get a $49 lunch.
It was $49? Yes. Wow.
I know. It was actually so sad. I'm actually gonna. You know what? No, it's fine because I'm grateful that I got to eat it.
You know how many meals you could have got
I'm
at
grateful
Taco
that I
Bell?
could afford to buy a $49 meal.
I love that.
That made me. You know, that's really cool.
And it is very healthy.
And I
It's
will
very
be
healthy.
thinking about it for 5 to 7 business days about how I lost $49 at Erewhon.
You didn't lose it. It was money well spent.
Yes.
It's
yes.
the experience of
Normally it's $25 for my lunch. I don't know how this happened that I spent so much, but it's typically $25.
the cookies. Those cookies are
I also was so hungry that when he was like, "Okay, you want meatballs?" I was like, "Yeah, I want like 4 though." Like so, and those are heavy. And then I got potatoes, and those are heavy too.
This was great. I've never heard anyone be grateful for Erewhon, but I love it.
Heard it here first, kids.
And for people that don't know what we're talking about, it's a very obviously
It's like
expensive
Sprouts.
grocery store.
But worse.
It's the word nowhere backwards. Oh, you didn't know this?
I am not a California girl, apparently.
It's just, you just thought it was random, like E-R-E-W-O.
I thought that some man who has a mansion on a hill in Malibu woke up one day and said, Erewhon.
You thought
That's what I thought.
it's the word nowhere?
Backwards.
Sydney, you're awesome.
Thank you so much for this. This was
Well, cheers.
amazing.
You're awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
I can't wait to have you back when
Yeah,
you're
let's
the
do it
champ.
again soon.
When you're the champ.
Make me the champ. I need to come back soon.